All right, another Destiny 2 Vidoc. Here we go. Becoming Legend Part 2, Shaping the Magic. Oh boy, all right, let's jump right into it, shall we?
This team, and Bungie in general, is all about collaboration. Testers, designers, effects artists, animation, all these sources of input from everywhere coming together, and like that was magic for me.
The magic. Magic. Ooh.
The final shape,
Weapons.
it felt a little like a love letter at times. We really thought about bringing that forward to the weapons. Like Kvastov, it's
Yeah, so they have like a ricochet to it or something now.
Of the first gun I got in the game, it's here in the Pale Heart. It's like this old friend returned.
Like they could have did it like Destiny 1, but they were just like, no, now big ricochet.
Not what it is. And that was really challenging.
Which I kind of like that they do that with some Destiny 1 weapons that go to Destiny 2.
It's all in the wrist. A little like it's gonna bounce several times down this line of guys.
Yeah, how is that gonna turn out in PvP?
Almost.
This thing's dope. Help! Yeah.
And
oh my
we put
god!
in the number 7 in as many places as we could. So it bounces 7 times. It's got a bunch of 7s in its stat. You get 7 bouncy bullets when you pick up an orb of power.
Wow.
Which is a long legacy of loving the number 7, and this felt like the right place for it. Cade has this iconic hand cannon that in a lot of ways has become a symbol. We took Ace of Spades and we went, where's the rest of the deck of cards? We had this really cool opportunity to theme all the Pale Heart weapons.
Oh, so that's what the themes of those weapons were.
It has this two-tone feel to it. The opposite side of the gun is the inverse of that idea.
Oh.
They look freaking awesome. It also has like these fantasies of characters that have influenced Cade. These guns are part of his past.
We wanted something that you can't do with any of your other weapons, and we came up with no hesitation. It shoots these harmonic bullets that if you're targeting an enemy, it'll hurt them and burn them.
What?
But if you're shooting an ally, it'll heal them.
I love
the healing weapon.
We had to build a lot of the language, and with the new cool little Guardian health bars, you can see that. The healing effect on it is very strong.
That one carry in the raid, just constantly shooting them with that.
It has its own little energy bar, like the glaive does, and that energy bar is charged by any damage whatsoever.
Gosh darn bats.
Like, we know what we did.
Since you are returning to the Traveler, we wanted to focus on bringing new supers to the life
Oh, here we go.
For Song of Flame, we wanted to plus up Radiance from Destiny 1 and have it be combat focused.
Yeah, spam!
If you remember, Radiance from P1 has fire wings. We kind of ate that visual space with Dawnblade, where you've got these like awesome flame wings. In a split second, if a player sees a character solar with wings, they're going to see that it's Dawnblade.
Yeah.
We had to come up with something different.
Zach, our VFX artist, came up with the idea of this halo around you, like a medieval painting.
I just can't wait to just throw grenades!
Twilight
And then this
Arsenal
thing
is a one-off super that also creates these axes. Coming up with visuals for that axe, it was an interesting challenge. How do we want to root this in Destiny? We took a lot of inspiration from
I wonder if this is going to be a
Titan's
DPS
shield.
like
What would it feel
tank.
like if the axe
Like
was
being able to pick up
shield
the
broken up?
axes.
And when you look at it side by side, you can definitely see that connection. between
Hopeful
the two.
thinking though.
Storm's Edge. We wanted to call back to Arcblade.
Yeah, this one's going to be scary in PvP.
And zipping over there, blowing up stuff.
Whee!
How long do you have in the super? Initially, you had a long time. Yeah,
24 seconds. We did not earn any friends in those playtests.
no,
the
people
first
were pretty
day.
mad. But we toned it down, and now you only have 12 seconds, and it's a lot more reasonable.
We found a problem where when you grapple and then you cast Blink Dagger out of it, I fall to the floor, right? Whereas if I'm in midair and I Blink Dagger, I should be held in midair, right? And it sucks. So I want to fix it.
It's the things like the camera shake, the way the rumble spikes and then falls back off. We need all of our
All the
abilities
special
to feel
effects that
awesome.
blind your
We
screen.
want to make it so that the controller
But that's just a
melts
Destiny
away.
thing.
You stop thinking.
You don't have a
about, what do I
million
have to
special
do,
effects on your
and
screen,
instead
you're
you
doing
just
it wrong.
Inhabit your character, and you don't have to think about it. The game just plays.
The great thing about Prismatic was every playtest we did, the feedback got better and better. We have gone back and forth on what starter builds that players will get in Mission 1.
Okay, we're going to start the Titans with Stringer's Lash, their strand aspect, and Knockout. One of the notes we got is players just weren't understanding how those two things comboed in a loop. Well, we're going to drop Stringer's Lash, and instead we're going to put in Diamond Lance. Now, any ability kill is making your Diamond Lance. Your knockout
That's
punch. Hey, that
nice.
makes a Diamond Lance. You throw your Diamond Lance at the floor, everything's frozen. Now you can punch stuff again and get amplified with Knockout. Once we made that switch, all of a sudden it clicked in players' heads. This loop becomes a lot more clear, and players were much more satisfied with their starter loadouts.
Very
At the end of
nice.
the day, like, the chaos is the point.
Yeah.
Yes, gotta have all the
If
chaos.
you aren't surprised and delighted in a way that you didn't expect, like,
Yeah.
T for teen.
This strike is probably one of the coolest strikes that we've ever released.
I started my Destiny journey playing strikes. I really wanted to push the expectations of what a strike could potentially be. This strike,
What?
it's sort of a memory out
We're actually
of
getting a
the
strike?
Witness's history of its race and what its buildings may have looked like in the past. A lot of the inspiration comes from 30s pulp novels, adventure flicks, uncovering ancient hidden cities that have not seen a living soul in eons.
Now get rid of the heist battlegrounds of the strike playlist, please, and just
And
do
then
more
subsequently
strikes.
destroying those cities moments later.
Also, skeleton keys, heroic strikes like Destiny 1. Make it fun, chaotic, a lot of damage.
Imagine you're in a narrow hallway. You need to escape it. Lava is descending.
What the flip?
Obstacle is coming out of the walls. You made this slide towards the closing door.
Ooh, I don't like the bubbly. It looks like
dead.
screed bubbles.
The door just closed right in front of your face, so...
That happens a lot.
I have 7 Gilded Conqueror titles. I want this strike to be the hardest strike we ever made.
Oh,
I want
great.
people
There's scorn in
to
it, isn't it?
scream and cry over this strike.
Oh no.
And just say, how do I complete this strike on Grandmaster difficulty? And I'll be like, yes.
Oh, great.
That's kind of one of the fun parts about making a strike. There's so much freedom and creativity to do wild things.
Yeah, so
And then
make
testing
more
that,
of them.
It's just a lot of fun, that back and forth.
Oh, it's like Riven's mouth.
We have a very tight relationship with Test as designers, and I couldn't do anything I do gameplay-wise without Test there at my side. But as soon as I can get fresh eyes on it, I think that's where it really comes in.
We ran a lot of play tests, and every time I would invite people, I'm like, this is final play test, but it's never final. We just can't stop.
And all the
It's
error
really
codes.
not just one department creating something special. When you see all those things combined in the iteration and the back and forth, and when you get to this end result where it just feels like it couldn't be any other way, we hit on something amazing here.
Oh, I just love the art direction. So good. All right. Yeah, I mean, listen. More strikes, please. Can we all agree on, like, I don't know why they always like hype up like a strike and then they just ignore the strike playlist. Granted, like Grandmasters, yeah, like how they mentioned, you know, this Grandmaster's gonna be tough. The only thing that I always say is that, like, if you're gonna have the Grandmaster to be like one of the longest or more toughest one, maybe have the loot kind of make sense with that, you know, strike Grandmaster. Because like some of them it's like, oh yeah, no, this one's easy, you know, I'm gonna get an adept like every like 10 minutes because that's all it takes, and then you do another one, it's like, oh, it's gonna take me 30 minutes, and you get the heist battlegrounds as a Grandmaster, and then you're like, oh, I don't want to do this week. Like, again, I want to, like, obviously the new stuff, but like talk about that, but I just wish that they would separate heist battlegrounds and strikes and then start to evolve strikes more, like past what they did in Destiny 1. I don't know why they just paused on that idea of making them more unique and have more variations when you do like the playlist version and having the skeleton keys and so on. And it's silly. I know I talk about that a lot, but everything else, you know, very chaotic. I'm curious about the Titan Super, if that is going to become like somehow meta for like boss DPS. I don't know. A lot of these like supers, you always like are, oh, these might be super good for DPS. Like a lot of people thought that the Titan Super was not going to be good for DPS for Strand, and then it turned out to be actually very good for DPS in a way. And then the Hunter Super is just kind of like, I'll be curious about it. I don't want to say anything, and then it just somehow that one turns out boss DPS, but obviously it looks more of a clear enemies kind of super, which is fine. And then we got the solar, just, you know, throwing everything, like, oh, random stuff everywhere, like it's Radiance, it's, you know, Destiny 1 super. And those weapons, oh my god, Kvostov. What I genuinely thought at first that it would have been the perfect crafting weapon, because of like being able to craft it to different, like kind of like it was in D1, where it's like you could turn it into a scout or an auto rifle or a pulse rifle. Obviously you can't turn it into a hand cannon, or could you? You just like break it in half and it's just the hand cannon go. But I mean, that ricochet thing, I'm not lying, pretty cool. Won't lie, that's, I'm scared on what it could do in PvP though. Like, just getting ricochet bullets across the map. I'm pretty sure there's like some balancing with it for PvP. Who knows? I mean, that's one of the selling points that Bungie likes to do, is make the new stuff super OP that push you to want to buy it, and the old stuff they nerf. And obviously the whole like prismatic super, so excited. I mean, we get prismatic, and then we have these new light like supers on top of it. Like it's gonna be so exciting. I'm super excited. And that healing auto rifle, like I said, it would be so, that one person that always falls down in the raid, you're just constantly shooting them with the healing bullets. Like are you healing me because you think that I'm gonna fall down? No. Totally not. Oh man, I'm so excited. I know that I normally kind of like step away from a lot of the hype, and I'm like, oh, I gotta be cautious. But I genuinely am really, really excited for this, just because I like new fun things that could possibly be exciting and chaotic, like I said, with the prismatic and the new light subclass super thingies, and even the weapons. So, and that strike, oh great. I knew that we were probably gonna get a strike. There was no way that we wouldn't, but I just wish that we, you know, go back to the times where strikes were like more of like a huge thing. You know, a big portion of Destiny expansions where you get like 2 or 3 of them, and then as like they do a new expansion, they kind of update the older ones to fit the new story or mold. Like, for example, now that we have the Dread, start putting the Dread in certain strikes and stuff like that, how they did with the Taken back in Taken King, like where they took strikes from the previous and started adding Taken as enemies that would spawn at certain spots. Like, I wish that they went further with that. So disappointed they didn't do that. Do it, Bungie, please. One heroic strike playlist, you know, come on. It was nice. Skeleton keys. And if you start saying, well, you know, the reason why I don't do skeleton keys and strike exclusives because people would leave that specific strike if it wasn't a strike that was good. Who cares? People leave as soon as it's a heist battleground. So put in heist battlegrounds? Like, I don't know. All right. But yeah, that is part 2. I'm so excited. It's just a week away. Just a week. Just a week. Only a week away. Can you believe it? Only a week. Woohoo! Anyways, all right. I hope you have a chibi-tastic day, night, evening, wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next chibi video. Chibi out.